Even the losers get lucky sometimes. Even the losers, they get lucky sometimes. But guess what? They didn't get lucky last weekend. Oh,
That's right.
hell no. The Buffaloes went way whoop that butt. Well, they didn't really whoop that butt, but we got the W. What's up, everybody? Will Cologne, Buffalo Will, aka Buffalo Will, duh. I just messed that up. Followed by his man, cousin Vinny. What's
What's
up,
up?
Vinny? How you
What's
guys
going on, bro?
doing? Hey, listen, sorry everybody. We started off a little late. We had a little technical problems, but we're here as always. Sorry for the little delay. Now, on that note, we're a little happier. I mean, Vinny, I don't know if you forgot or not. You know, we have 2 wins, bro. 2 wins. Yeah. You
Well,
know, hold on.
I didn't forget. I didn't forget, Will. But what you got over there? What you cracking
Hold on.
over there?
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. You know, when we win, by the way, I'm using a different computer today. That's why a little stuff is different. I even got a ghost up here from Halloween hanging to my right. Well, here we go.
Hey,
As always,
you doing better than me. I'm on my phone today.
Madaya. Hey,
Hey,
as long as we see you, it's all
listen,
good. What you
man.
got?
Listen, man.
What? Whoa, that
I
looks
got the
pretty
big
cool.
boy stuff. This is the Voodoo Rangers 8.5, so that's equal to 2 of your medallas, bro.
You're right. You big gunning. You big gunning today. So here we go to the Buffalo Bills, to the Bills Mafia, Bills Nation.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. Bam.
Go Bills, go Bills, go Bills.
Bills. Hold on.
Ooh,
Tastes good.
that feels good. It feels better after a New England victory, after beating New England.
Yeah, it's about time. It's been a long time coming. They finally got a win against the New England Patriots. You know what, man? Let's do this a little different. Oh, by the way, welcome back because you were with us last week. You were with us in spirit and comments. You know, like I said, then he gets stuck working sometimes, and we don't get paid for this. So sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. So welcome back, Vinny. Welcome back.
Thank
You
you,
were
man. Thank you.
yeah,
I enjoyed the show when Bobby and Kurt and them guys filled in, man. It was
yeah.
awesome. I was driving. Sometimes I hit some spots where it was dead, but man, when you guys were on, when I was listening to you guys were on point, man. I really enjoyed the show, and I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but I got to pay some bills. But like I said, man, I called the game. I told you about the Arizona and whatchamacallit, doggone, who was it that I called? That it was that
You
we talked
said
about.
the game that not this game was going to be close. No, you said somebody else. Or was that last week?
Well, I said the Jets were going to be close, and I
Yeah,
said Arizona was going to beat somebody. Who the heck was it on? I forgot, man. But anyway,
Seattle. But that was last week. Was it Seattle last week? Or was it this week? See,
it was
now
last week. I
you
think it was
messing me
Arizona
up.
last week, and they beat. They wound up beating them. So anyway, it's all good, man. It's a new week. We got Seattle coming up this weekend, but we'll talk about that in a little while. I'm excited. Got an MVP candidate coming up, so it's going to be a shootout. I don't think if our defense steps it up this week, I think we might edge them. But I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit more later.
I was about to say that's it. We're signing off. Peace out.
Yeah.
Not
I'm
yet.
jumping the gun a little bit. Hey, man, I'm excited to be back. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm
hear
on my
you.
phone, but hey, it is what it is, man. I'm just trying to keep up with you, Will. You the man. I appreciate you, being a great co-host and picking me up where I left off, man.
Oh, boy, you giving me a lot of hot air, man. Ain't all that good now.
Yeah, your
Anyway, here
head's
we
ready to
go.
blow up. Your head's ready to blow up.
All right. Sorry, I'm checking out, doing some things over here on the side while I'm talking to you. All right, cool. You know what? Let's change it a little. Usually I do the news up front, but you know what? Why not talk about last week's game? It was the big thing. Looking at the lineup, I'm going to throw up here the lineup from last week. Boom. This was our from the Buffalo Bills PR, the game day roster. As you can see, same pretty much almost as always. The great thing was Feliciano came back and Taiwan Jones got in the game. Lee Smith ended up coming back from COVID protocol, being in close contact with him. Looking down, this time Duke wasn't in the lineup. The guys were back because John Brown Smoke came back. Milano was in the lineup, got a little play in there. Andre Smith was promoted from the practice squad. He got some time in there too. They brought back Harrison Phillips for this week. And Levi Wallace finally came back from being hurt and active. TJ Yelton, Micah Hyde, who had a concussion protocol. Josh Norman with his hamstring. Vernon Butler actually got the game off because injuries. Cody Ford again also, he was out with injuries. So let me hop back over here. I don't see Mr. Vinny. Vinny has gone black over here, so let me see what happens. Well, there's Vinny. Vinny's back. Good. All right. Hold on, Vin. There you go. Your mic is back. It was popping a little. So, it was good to see certain guys come and play. I don't know about Milano. It was good. He didn't play everything, but he played a few games. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, Bobby's texting. I got to answer him. Yeah, everything. They look good in the first half of the game. The Bills, it was flip flop from say last week against the Jets. The way I looked at it, for the simple fact that
they started strong on D.
Strong on D first half. They were shutting them down. Then the second half, New England figured stuff out, changed. Belichick, he's always going to adjust. He adjusted. They started moving the ball and getting to us. So our defense, I don't know if it fell asleep a little or what, but that's what was going on. But luckily, the Bills were able to hold on. There you are, Vinny. Took that phone against something, Vinny.
I'm right here, man. I ain't going nowhere.
So that was good. Our defense in the beginning was like bend, don't break in the first half. They drove a little, then they got rid of the ball. It was good. Milano, he had that nice blitz coming in. Like I said, he was only coming in once in a while. He got a nice blitz, caused a sack. Nice blitz from Milano, ended with a sack by Jefferson, but Milano applied the pressure. Good to see him in there. The team's totally different with him in there. Zach Moss, he had a very nice touchdown game. It's the first time, actually, the first time since I think it was McCoy who had 2 rushing touchdowns. And as his rookie year, it's his first career game with 2 rushing touchdowns, which is a big thing for Moss. Another thing was, Zimmer in the second half coming up big with that tackle on the strip on Cam. If that doesn't happen, we'd probably lose that game. Or at least, we would have been going into overtime. What's going on over there, Ben? You got some crazy interference coming through.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm gonna have to log out real quick and come right back in. All I hear is like static, man.
Yeah, that's all I'm getting from you is like some static. So if you want to hop out, come back in. Hopefully
I'll do that. I'll come right back.
All right. So Vinny will be back. He's out. Let's remove him for now till he comes back. Hopefully I gets that straight. Anyway, like I was saying, there was a few firsts. Josh Allen. Let's throw this boy up here. Boom. Josh Allen ends up passing Jim Kelly for the most touchdowns within the first 8 games of the season. Kelly had 19. Josh now has 20 after last Sunday's game. This guy is putting up some crazy numbers. He's breaking records. Who would have known his kid was going to do this? And especially this rate this year, he's breaking a lot of records for the Bills. Some that I didn't think would be broken, especially with the talent Kelly had. And he's just showing what he could do with some talent with him. Another thing going on, let's give a shout out over here. Devin Singletary had 86 yards. Zach Moss had 81. Each surpassed 80 yards in Sunday's game over the Patriots. This is from actually the Buffalo Bills PR on Twitter. I downloaded it as I do usually. Duo became the first pair of Bills to each run for 80 plus since 2016 when LaShawn McCoy did it and Mike Gisely did so versus Miami. 12-24 of 16. Singletary Moss also became just the third running back tandem in NFL this season to each rush for 80 plus yards. They joined Baltimore's J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, Nick Chubb, and Kareem Hunt. So they have some good competition there with these guys. Some good company, let's say, that they were able to pull this off, which was, big. So Vinny's back there. Vinny, I see you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear
me
you
now.
I hear you now.
All right, baby. Let's rock before something happens.
You switched over. All right, so let's just give them some shout outs here. As you can see by the backs, both had over 80 yards rushing. They put up some good numbers. And I also said how Josh Allen over here passed Kelly on for the most touchdowns within 8 games, in the first 8 games of the season in Bills history.
Yep.
Big things there. Also Zimmer, he had his first career forced fumble, and it came at a great time.
He almost had that one in Kansas City that we almost caught up the game. Remember that when
he was
trying to skip he got on his knee, that knee call.
Yep.
So this kid, he's got a knack for the ball. I like the way he tries to punch it out every single time. And, man, he timed that one perfect. I mean, I don't know about you, Will, but, man, I was holding my breath. I was like, man, here come the old Buffalo Bills. We're gonna find a way to lose this one. And I love that Zimmer, when they brought him up.
Yeah.
From the practice squad, I believe it was. And then, they just put him on the 53-man roster after playing a hell of a game against Kansas City. And, man, he like a professional that he is, man. So it's all good, man. I'm proud of him. I was following his mom on Twitter. She was talking about how proud she was. And
yes.
That kind of gave me a little fuzzies.
Yeah, man, he came up huge for us. I mean, last week against Kansas City, he was one of the bright spots or whatever on the team. He was doing everything he could, which was great. Man, I'm glad somebody's stepping up, starting to get that cracking again. Whoa, there you go again. You're gone.
Yeah.
Where are you? You're black on the screen, bud. I'm losing you. So anyway, we got a black screen from you. I'm going to take you out right now. You probably could hear me. I'm waiting for you to pop back up. But anyway, Zimmer did step up big at the right time for us to help us beat those Pats. Finally, we got that monkey off our back. Finally, we're able to take a win over them. Take first spot in the AFC East. By the way, it's the first time that the Bills have had a lone lead in the AFC East since 1996. From that long ago, 1996. It's insane. It's the first time the Bills have had sole possession of the AFC East this late in the season. And we're only halfway. So, all right, Vinny's back. We're going to try that video again. Here you go again, Vin.
We got some weather down there in Florida. I'm going to have to get off for a little while and try to get on the PC or something because it's just crackling. I don't know if it's just a connection or something because it's just crackling real bad on my end. Now it sounds good. I don't hear nothing.
Yeah, now you're sounding good again. All right, let's see how long it lasts. But it looks like you froze. Yeah, well, there you are. You're back. Holy, yeah.
That's what happens when you get out of work. You know what? As much work as I'm doing, I might have to break down and buy a whole new setup, man.
We're going to have to tell Bobby we need some pay up in this place.
Yeah, man.
Hey. All right, man. So that was the game. The Bills move on to 6-2. Finally shook that monkey off our back, like I said before. And now we move on to the next game, and that'll be against Seattle. But before we do that, let's hit into some news. I know I changed it up a little. Let's go through the league and see what's going on. One thing, Miami, as we all know, we talked about it, Fitzmagic. He got benched. Tua started. So the whole new Tua train is up and running. Vinny, you got your mic off. I don't know if you did that on purpose. But anyway, he's gone. Damn, Vinny left me. Vinny's like, peace out. All right, hopefully he'll get his stuff straight out. The whole Tua magic train, like we're saying, or Fitzmagic, he lost his mind. He's even wearing short shorts because they ended up trading Ford, and their receiver Ford used to wear short shorts in practice. But anyway, listen, Tua didn't do all that great. He didn't do too bad. He didn't throw any picks, I don't think. He was 12 for 22, threw for 93 yards. The good thing for them against this game was that Miami's defense is actually playing pretty damn well. They're playing lights out, So he threw for 1 touchdown. He got sacked once, but it was everybody else stepped up. There was a rushing touchdown for Gaskins. And besides that, they had a punt return for a touchdown. And their defense had, I believe, a fumble for a return, fumble for a touchdown. So it wasn't like it was all him. He had a lot of help, and they were able to upset. So good for him. He got his, first win. Let's see how it goes on for them. Hopefully, they lose. We don't want them to win, We do not want them to win. Let me see. Sorry, everybody. Vinny's over here messaging me at the same time. I got to check something. Oh, man. I got too many things going on at once. Anyway, Tua train. Am I sold on it? Nope, not sold yet. Let's see what he'll be back. Let's see what he'll do. And he's saying he's working on his computer. He'll be back with us. So let's just roll on. More league news here. I wanted to hear his take on Tua, but whatever. We'll talk about it later when he gets back, hopefully. Anybody out there have any comments, whatever you think about Tua? Hey, shoot them out there. I'll post them out there. We'll talk about it. Dwayne Haskins, is he done? They were looking for the possible trade bait during the trade deadline. Nothing happened. Dwayne's still there. And Ron Rivera actually said the other day, he said, hey, it's funny, I benched the guy, and it's like everybody thinks his career is over here in Washington. It's not. There's potential. There's opportunity. The kid has an NFL arm. It's just a matter of him developing. That's what he told Rich Eisen on an interview. And it's true. One thing I've said before in the past is this league now, it's like you draft the quarterback. They want this quarterback to produce right away. And if he doesn't produce right away, he's getting yanked. He's getting pulled. And I don't think it's fair to these players. Not so much. I mean, Dwayne got a few games in last year. He started a few. He just didn't produce. He's on Washington. Washington does not have that much talent around them. I mean, they do have a good receiver over there, and they're starting to, to rebuild more. And they finally got a good coach to me with Ron Rivera. If they let this guy stay there for 2 to 3 more years and actually try to develop something, I think they'll have a good squad. Is Dwayne the answer? We don't know. But so often, look at Josh Rosen. The guy didn't even get a chance. He got 1 year, and then they pulled him for Kyler Murray. Okay, Murray's developing. But if Murray was out there and struggled last year, they didn't have a winning record. He did show promise. They kept him on for this year. They got him weapons, something they didn't do for Josh, but Josh got booted, Now this kid, he goes in there. It's not Rivera's guy. But anyway, he goes in there. He struggled last year, but he got some playing time, comes in this year. They're struggling. They think they're better than they are. Now they're pulling him. You have Alex Smith in the win, so it's going to happen. But like I said, you need to let some of these guys sit. Or if you're not, you're going to let them sit there and go through and take their lumps. And a lot of times it's just pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger. It's not fair to some of these quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers sat, Steve Young sat, Rich Gannon sat. These guys sat and developed and became the players they are or were. You have to give them some time. These guys have to have some leeway. If you're not going to give it to them, a lot of these guys, it's just rough. It's a tough sport. It's a tougher position, one of the tough positions in the league. And not to let them develop, it's pretty tough, pretty hard. Moving on. Now, one thing that's going on this week is a lot of COVID is popping up again. COVID. For tonight's game, Green Bay Packers, they don't even have a backfield right now, or they're starting 2 backs or whatever your depth-wise are pretty much out with COVID or COVID close contact. So they can't play. The wide receivers on San Fran, a lot of guys out with COVID protocol, and so forth. Hold on, my goodness, who's this now? Bam. We're in quarantine. These guys talking, man, over here right now. All right, let's keep moving. Sorry about that. If you want to make comments or something, like I said, hit me up. I'll put them out there. Moving on, Stafford. Matthew Stafford was placed on the COVID-19 list. He's deemed high risk for close contact. He doesn't have it. Now he might be able to play on Sunday unless in the next few days he has a positive test. But if not, the guy's sitting at home, can't practice with the rest of the team because of close contact. They're saying he might be able to play on Sunday. Okay, that's good. Just take a book out of the Tennessee Titans, and go throw the ball with somebody over there at some high school or something, and you'll be okay. Bears. This was funny to me. It's not funny. If you watch the Bears-Saints game last week, at one point I was looking at highlights, and I see Javon Wims throwing a one-two-piece to CJ Gardner of the Saints. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So we go over there and I look. He actually said, he said that CJ ended up ripping his mouthpiece out and spitting at him. Not cool, not a good look. What the hell you're doing if it's true? Anyway, he tried to appeal it with the players' union, and it got shut down. So he's going to have to serve his 2-game suspension, and CJ Garner gets to continue to play. Now, CJ is the same player that Michael Thomas, his teammate, ended up having a fight with in practice. So that just tells me, and it's known around the league, CJ likes to talk a lot of smack. You know, he's a good player, but he talks a lot of smack, and people get upset with that. And that's what seems to have happened against the Bears for Javon Mims to throw a 1-2 at him. The problem is you're not punching the guy in the face or anything. You're punching him in the helmet. You're going to hurt your hand. You're a receiver. You need your hands. Play smart. Use your brain. You know, don't throw no punches. It's not worth it. Now you're losing money in a 2-game suspension. You get to sit out. He gets to play. He gets paid. Use your brain, guys. Come on. Now, trade deadline. We hit on a little bit afterwards. No real big deals happened. A few deals. New England ended up trading for Miami's wide receiver Ford, which was a little weird to me because you're in the same division. Usually that doesn't happen, but whatever. The Bills didn't do anything. I was thinking maybe the Bills would go after a defensive tackle to help us with the run game. They didn't do that. So we'll leave that alone for now. Maybe we'll come back and touch on it. Texans today, they closed the team's facility due to a player testing positive for COVID-19. And that player was linebacker Jacob Martin. Recently, not too long ago, Whitney Marcellus and Dylan Cole were added on there for close contact to him. So a lot of guys are getting thrown onto this list due to close contact, not being tested positive for it, but they were close contact with the player that had it. So more guys are getting thrown to this list. Now, also talking about the Texans, J.J. Watt, does he want out? J.J. Watt said, he's not thinking about a rebuild. Let's get to this right now, because this was one of those ideas people were throwing out there that, hey, where could J.J. Watt end up landing? One person was like, say, hey, maybe Buffalo. Listen, I would have taken him on Buffalo. They probably would have had to pay a lot of or give up a lot to get him. He has 1 year left on his contract. It's $17.5 million. The one thing is it's not guaranteed money. So who knows? They could try to trade him. They could cut him. But he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild over there in Texas. So where could JJ land next year? That's pretty, that's something to keep an eye out for, especially during the trade deadline. Not trade deadline, during the draft. Someone might try to get JJ. One place we don't want him to go to is Pittsburgh, where he could play with his brothers. It would be nice for him, but it'd be bad for the rest of the league. So let's not send him there. All right, Houston? Buffalo would be a nice place to go to, though. Moving on from there, as I touched, listen, the Packers had no positives COVID tests since running back A.J. Dillon's positive test on Monday. Running back Jamal Williams and Kamal Martin were added to the list due to high risk again, be in close proximity with him. And so they pretty much don't have a backfield. I wonder who's going to be running the ball for them tonight. 49ers also, so that's the game tonight, Green Bay 49ers. 49ers closed their facilities yesterday when Kendrick Bourne was placed on the COVID list. And there was an update on Pro Football Talk that the NFL is looking into it to see if he broke some protocol. Also, he did not produce, supposedly, a false positive because there was rumors that it was a false positive. NFL saying, no, it's not a false positive. So who knows? But that's where we're going. Also now with them, wide receiver Boykin Aiken, Deebo Samuel, and left tackle Trent Williams were all placed on the COVID-19 list as well due to high close contact again. So the list keeps going on, but they're playing the game tonight. They didn't try to postpone it or anything. So hopefully none of these guys that are playing it tonight end up with COVID, because this is a game they should have done, possibly pushed, whether it be Sunday or to Monday, especially with all these cases popping up. So hopefully they are false and it's not like they're dropping the ball on this. Okay. Now we're going to move on. So far, I still haven't heard from Vinny. He's still working on it. Let me check over here if I got an update on him. It's rough. It's really rough to do a whole show by yourself. You're supposed to bounce people off back and forth, back and forth. Where are my comments, people? Where are my comments? Anyway, we'll keep moving on. ESPN rankings, as we always do every week. Look at power rankings. I look at ESPN and CBS Sports because that's how we started in the beginning of the year. Let's keep going on with that. Now, ESPN, we're at 7th last week. Actually, no, we're 7th this week. They dropped us one spot from 8th, which is pretty good. We're moving on up. Our defense is starting to click again. Our players are coming back. Levi Wallace is back. Matt Milano's back, even though it's on a limited basis. It's pretty much like they say in MLB. He's on a pitch count, but he's on a play count. They don't want to really mess up his pec, and I don't blame him. So take it easy on him. He comes in. He's fresh. They sent him on a blitz. He could cover whatever he needs to do. He's doing it, and he's doing what the team asked for him. The guy's a beast when he's healthy. Let's keep him healthy. So we drop from 8th to 7th according to ESPN. CBS Sports, we go from 8th to 6th. So we're moving on up, So that's good for us. We're looking good. We're taking those steps. We're almost starting to look like the team we were last year, our defense at least, So let's keep going, guys. Let's keep it moving. And let's stop slacking. We got to get better on the run. And Zimmer has helped with us with that. So now one of the moves that Bills ended up doing was they brought in what? Another ex-Panther dude. He's coming off from the Dallas Cowboys, but he played his first 2 years down there in North Carolina with McDermott. So we got another Carolina player coming in. It's Darryl Worley. He was on the Cowboys. The Bills signed him to his practice squad. He played for McDermott, like I said, in Carolina. No surprise. He's 6'1", 210, 25 years old. Kid's young. This year so far with the Cowboys, he had 14 tackles, no picks. Career-wise, he's played in 63 games. He's started 53 of them. 257 tackles, 206 solo, 5 picks. He played 2 years in Carolina, 2 years in Oakland, and 7 games for the Dallas Cowboys this year. So this was more of a depth move for us. It helps, especially when Levi was down, Josh Norman was down. So we keep dipping in those practice squad players. So why not pick them up? It's probably another reason why the Bills didn't make a move at the trade deadline. They picked this guy up for free. You didn't have to give up picks or anything like that. So why not? So good for that. Now we're moving on over here, and bam, this guy has been activated again. Bills activate Dawson Knox from the COVID-19 list, along with Lee Smith, which was done last Sunday's game. Also, Nate Becker, he's been activated, and he's on our practice squad. Tommy Sweeney, who was on the PUP list to start off the year, and for most of the weeks, he was taken off the PUP list, but he still remains on the COVID-19 list. So, ain't going nowhere there. Tommy still got to wait. He's going to wait until he gets out and he's fully healthy. No need to rush him. We already have 4 or 5 tight ends on our list. Keep him on the practice squad until he is healthy. No reason to rush anybody. Don't want anybody getting hurt. And, there's no reason for him to get rushed into anything. Now, man, I guess Vinny is gone. Let me take a sip here while we all watch and enjoy everybody. Cheers again. That just bought me a little time so I can relax a little. Okay. Vinny is lost, people. Vinny's lost. He had bad connections in the beginning. That's why we started off late. Was hoping he could hop on, but I guess that's going to wait a little bit. Now, the Buffalo Bills are going to be having some tough company this week. And that is Russell Wilson and his boys are coming in to try to lay the smackdown on us. And that ain't good. So far, the Bills and Seattle have met 13 times in franchise history, including 1 playoff game. So usually during the regular season, it's been 12. One time, I believe, in the playoffs back in the old AFL days. Now, the Seahawks lead this series 8-5. Not cool. The first meeting was back in October 30th of 1977, and I believe that was the playoff game where the Bills scored 17 and the Seattle Seahawks laid the smackdown on us with a big 56 points. Not fun. And the last time we met was November 7th of 2016. Bills 25, Seattle 31. So again, Seattle laid the smack on us again. Now, Pete Carroll, which I didn't know, he started his NFL career where? In Buffalo. He was with the Bills in 1984 as a defensive backs coach, and that's where he started his career was. I didn't know that. That was news to me. It's pretty cool. I've always liked Pete Carroll. I always thought the Jets made a big mistake when they fired him after I believe it was 1 year. Why fire the guy? The guy went, I think, 8-8. It was better than the year before that. I don't know if it was Rich Kotite or somebody was their coach, but he didn't do a bad job there. He led them to a 500 season. And then after that, they got rid of him. And look at the guy, 2-time Super Bowl champ, I believe it is, where he's been there. So now the Seattle Seahawks, one thing, I believe they're number one in scoring in the league. And our defense hasn't been on point. The one good thing is their defense hasn't been all that great either. They have Jamal Adams. He was injured. They're saying he was going to be on a pitch count, but now they're saying he is 100% and he will be ready to play this week and go full strength against the Bills. And he knows us very well from his days with the Jets. He's not a bad player. He's not the best out there, but he's not a bad player. And they ended up picking up Dunlap from Cincinnati to help with their bolster that front line of theirs on defense. One thing, our corners are going to be busy. They have DK Metcalf, who I actually wanted the Bills to draft his rookie year. So that guy's been tearing it up. He's showing the league that he's a beast, and they got him later in the rounds. Great pick by them, and he's showing them what he could do. Him and Russell are just nasty. They have TJ Lockett. They just have weapons. Olsen might be out this week right now, looking at this squad. I mean, looking at their injury, Chris Carson, he did not participate in practice. His foot. Greg Olsen, his foot. Their guard, Mike Lupati, his back. Quentin Dunbar, his knee. Their tackle, Dwayne Brown, knee. He was more of a resting day today. Benson Moa, his ankle, his DNs. Shaquille Griffin, he's in concussion and he has a bad hamstring, so he might not play, most likely against us. Carlos Hyde, his hamstring. Safety, Ugo Mandi, hamstring. Cornerback, DJ Reed, hamstring. Travis Homer, his knee. The list goes on and on. Limited. Jamal with his groin, but he was practiced, limited. But they're saying, like I said, he should be full go this week. DJ Metcalf, is more of a load management. He's not hurt. Tyler Lockett, the same thing. They're just resting him. Defensive tackle Jared Reed, same thing. Ryan Neal, his hip, and full participant coming back was DJ Dallas. Gordon Simmons, a finger injury is like whatever. That's not a big deal for us. Well, now looking at our team over here, the Bills, we go on our practice. Boom, our injury report for the Bills. As you can see, Mario Addison, Wednesday was a rest day, and Thursday did not practice. So it's just more rest for the older guy. Josh Allen, his shoulder again, they still have him there, but it's full practice. John Brown, Wednesday, he didn't practice. Today he was full, which is good. You give the guy a break. And which was cool, they gave the Bills Monday off for their victory against the Pats. So they had a few extra days there, not practicing on Monday, going in on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, some of these guys are limited. Again, Brown, his knee, he got to rest for 2 days. Beautiful. That's good for us come game day. Brandon Butler, who didn't play last week because of his groin, he was limited, but he was full practice today. As you can see, Cody Ford, a guy we need to get back. He's limited. Didn't play last week. Hopefully, he'll be able to go on Sunday. Jake Fromm, as we all know, that's the whole COVID precaution thing. Jerry Hughes had a day off, on Wednesday. He was full today, so I could see him playing. This is a big thing for us right here is Michael Hyde. We want him to get back in after concussion protocol with that hit on Perriman against the Jets. Limited on Wednesday, full today. Quentin Jefferson, knee limited and limited. So there's a possibility he won't play again for us. Again, with Zimmer stepping up, you might not need that guy to go for us full speed. If he needs another week, let him rest. Darrell Johnson, his knee, he didn't practice. Most likely he's not going to be in again. Tywan Jones, who hurt his hamstring on one of the special teams plays, didn't practice yesterday, didn't practice today. I don't think he's going to play. He's probably going to be, sat out this week. Dawson Knox didn't practice on Wednesday, but he was limited today. How much time is he going to see on Sunday? Probably not much coming off of the IR. Matt Milano, again, didn't practice. They're keeping these guys ready for the week. Now, this was a big loss during Sunday's game. Mitch Morse, concussion protocol. The one thing which Mitch Morse is, which is kind of rough, is that this guy has a history of concussions, and it's not good. He had another one now. Who knows? Hopefully, he'll be ready by next week. He's one of our anchors in the middle. He's missed, but, who knows what's going to happen with him, especially, like I said, with his history and concussions. I didn't even see the hit. It didn't even look that bad. But once you get a few of these concussions, sometimes small hit just brings it back. Josh Norman, which is big. Hamstring issues, still didn't practice, so he probably won't play this week either. Brian Winters, his knee. What's up with these guys and their knees? Limited. He ended up playing last week, which was good. So I'm back over here. Now, one thing I'm going to touch about with the Bills game last week, which was nice, is that some of these guys ended up stepping up, and that's what you got to do. Jefferson, if he doesn't play, where is my boy here? Where's the man Zimmer who forced the fumble? He stepped up. He had only one tackle, and it was one of the biggest tackles with the forced fumble. Another guy, Bryant, the defensive tackle, stepped up. I mean, he only had one tackle, you could see, but you saw him, in the trenches. You saw him hustling. You saw him applying pressure. He didn't get to him, great, but he applied pressure, and that's what these guys need to do. They first, like I said, the first half of this game, they were holding them down. They were shutting down the run. They were shutting down pretty much the pass game. They ended up towards the end of the game with 188 yards. That's a lot of yards to be given up still on the ground. They were averaging as a team 5.5. The one thing I did not like was that Cam Newton almost looked like Josh Allen running the ball out there. He's a big boy. He still can run the ball. He had 9 carries for 54 yards. He had a touchdown, and luckily for us, he had that fumble. If not, like I said, they either would have tied that game or taken the lead, and we would have lost in the fourth quarter with less than a minute to go. That's something you're not going to be able to do against the Seattle team. The Seattle team they're monsters. Like I said, I think they're the top scoring team in the league right now. And they will throw that ball all over the place. The one good thing, like I said, is the injury report. You do hopefully their running back. You have 1-2 running backs. Carson, he didn't practice. That's a big thing. We could use that. If he's not playing, it helps us out. We've had struggled against the run, and this team could do both. And Russell Wilson doesn't really run that much, but if he has to, he'll tuck that ball and he'll run too. Our defense has to be on point against this squad come Sunday. I mean, there's going to be guys everybody needs to step up. Murphy played this week. Did he do much? I got to look, but he needs to step his game up. That's one of those guys, that was thought he might be traded at the end of at the trade deadline. Me personally, in the beginning of the year, I said, don't trade him. The guy was playing lights out towards the end of last season. Hopefully he'll be able to flick that switch again and get back where he was. Jerry Hughes, another guy. He got AFC Player of the Week the week before last Sunday. But where has he been most of the year? He's been quiet too. Besides Mario Addison, some of these guys have been quiet. Nobody's really doing much. Step up. Harrison Phillips, he was the guy I said that he needs to step up this year, show what he could do. And he hasn't really done that either. He even got benched for a week. All these guys need to step up. One guy who had a nice play was Tyler Makovich. When they tried that onside kick, he got the ball, tucked it. Great play by him to save us from that onside kick. If that would have happened, oh my goodness, it would have been bad. Just bad. Now, what else can I say about this? The Bills need to be on point, and that's it. You got two MVP candidates going up against each other. Russell Wilson and Josh Allen, the dark horse, trying to put in his bid. You know, he's slowed down a little. The Bills start running the ball better, which is great. Look at John Feliciano came back last week. You saw him. He was in beast mode. Guys was pulling from the corner on the runs. Too bad Mitch Morse had the concussion. And I didn't even know. They took Feliciano and stuck him right at the center position, and he played well. Usually Bates is our backup center, but for some reason Feliciano was in there. He was tearing it up, and you could see the difference one player makes. And if we had Morse in there, we probably would have rushed for more on the ground. It would have been even better. The guy's a monster. We needed everybody to start getting healthy. You have a healthy squad, we could go far. You know, once our defense is back in it, Leslie Frazier, which I saw, they did throw out 3 linebackers out there a few times, which is great because you need that to stop the run, especially if we're struggling. I understand they're trying to run some kind of like Buddy, what's his name? My goodness, the clown, the originator of the 4-6 defense, Buddy Ryan. There you go. Trying to run some kind of version of the 46 defense. It worked, but until people figured out the 46 defense, it wasn't all that great. And you need to have 3 linebackers out there. That's the one thing we have. We have speed at linebacker. Klein, does he cover as well as Matt Milano? No. But he still could get the job done, and he's been playing better. He came up with a big few third down tackles, which helped us. Dean Marlowe, another guy, he recovered the fumble forced by Zimmer. But he had one big pop on third down and stopped him like a yard or two short from getting that first down. These are the plays we need these guys to do consistently. You know, we need to get Michael Hyde out of concussion protocol and keep going, popping people. Him and Poyer, just nasty. You know, once Milano's 100% nasty, AJ Klein has stepped up, which is great. Our defensive ends need to step up. You know, Hughes, we need more production out of Hughes, and we need more production out of Murphy. Addison's the only one, like I said before, who's been putting in work and getting stuff done. They need to apply a lot of pressure to Russell Wilson. And even when they do it, Russell Wilson could get out of the pocket and throw a beautiful pass. They just need to attack. They have to keep it on them. And we need long drives on the offensive ball. Singletary and Moss need to carry that ball and keep drives going. The one good thing that these clowns over there in Seattle are, they are high on penalties. I think they have 20 more penalties than we are or something like that. Good. The Bills seem to love to try to do that hard count over and over and over. Hopefully it works a few times against Seattle. We get some free yards. You know, mess with these guys' heads if you have to. Get in there. Do whatever you have to do to get some free yards and get to this team. You can't let him sit back there because he'll pick us apart. The one good thing is we have Levi Wallace coming back. And Tyron Johnson slipped to the nickel position, which is good. He's better off as a nickel and not a number 1. You got Dane Jackson, the rookie who ended up coming in and playing well 2 weeks ago. I didn't see much of him last week. You know, hopefully Michael Hyde will come in, but D. Marlowe played well. He played good enough for us. You know, it's not the same chemistry as him and Hyde. I mean, Michael Hyde and Poyer, but, you know, he was there. He's been there since last year or the year before that. They know each other. It's good stuff. They need to play as one because if they don't, you know, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I picked Seattle to win this game in the beginning of the year. This is one of the losses I gave the Bills. Can they beat them? Yeah, I think they can match up well against them, but they need to apply pressure. They need to contain everybody inside. Don't let them bounce outside like we've been doing a few weeks. You can't do that. And we can't allow Russell Wilson to break out of the behind the line and throw on the run. We got to get some pressure. We need some sacks this week. Another thing is our rush game. Hold on, people. I'm getting a little dry. A lot of talking by myself. Where are the comments? I got all these people up here. Like at them, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. No comments. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Look at this. Hold up. Hey. Bam, Vinny.
Man, you don't know the stuff we've been going through trying to get back online, man. But can you hear me now?
Keep talking. I'm sweating over here, bro.
You sweating over there? You trying to make it sound?
Man, I've talked about Seattle. I talked about all the moves.
Ain't nothing else to talk about now. Figures you hold the fort down. I try to get up in here and it's already done. Man, I had to call my son, to call his girlfriend, to get the laptop, to make a delivery, to get back online. I ain't a tech guy, but they got me going at least for a few minutes. Hopefully I could get some input in there. But what did I miss, man?
Jesus. Hold on.
I got you drinking over there.
My throat is dry. I couldn't even reach to get another one. My beer's kind of warm, Vinny. I thought you left me. I didn't even see a message.
Man. My bad.
People are watching, but I ain't got no comments. They're saying, struggle, boss, struggle.
Well, you the man, bro. If anybody could hold it down, it'd be you, bro.
Woof. I don't know, man. It's like weird when you're not listening to somebody and going back and forth. And there's no comments. It always seems to happen. When you're here and Bobby's here, we get comments. When I'm by myself, it goes quiet.
Man.
I think they like watching me struggle.
No, man, never that. You do a great job, man. I had my phone out. I don't know what was going on. I just had this interference and stuff, and I didn't want to be a disruption, so I kind of went on the side and listened, man. You the man, bro. You the man. Appreciate it. But you know who needs to be the man this week?
Who?
Josh Allen needs to be the man this week. I know you probably talked about Seattle already, but to me, it's going to be a shootout. I'm going to put my little input real quick. I think it's going to be a shootout. If our defense shows up, man, we're going to be all right, especially our run defense. And I think if Moss and Singletary get their groove on like a little bit, if they get 75% of what they did last week, we might sneak out a win. I got us beating them by at least 4 points.
Whoa! Look at this. So I don't know why, but I had a thing that said there was some issues with our pop-ups here. But hold on. Now I'm looking over here real quick. All right, Kyle, 3 minutes ago. See? So people were commenting. For some reason it wasn't up here.
Maybe it's just football crackling. I'm the one over here struggling, trying to figure out if it's me.
It said Periscope was having some issues. Well, anyway, Kyle, our buddy Kyle Lillard, got to have him on again. He's like, Bills winning a shootout. I hope so, Kyle.
I believe so. I believe it's going to be a high-scoring game, plus 50, man.
My buddy Dennis over here saying Russ is going to take the Bills for a walk.
I don't know about all that, man.
Now, Dennis is a Philly fan, this scrub over there.
that answers a lot of questions.
Oh, now listen. See, now people are starting to talk. I don't know if I should to say some of these things because I got a guy named Anthony. We call him Mutz because him and his family have a little mozzarella company. They're starting off selling mozzarella. I told him to get me a still. We will he'll give him a little promo for him. But this bum, I don't know if I want to. Why? Because he's saying Josh Allen is a below average cornerback.
Oh, man.
Yeah. This is coming from a Jet fan.
Come on now. So, you know what? There's been some people putting Sam Darnold above him. There was some things going on in the media saying, that you got the MVP contenders, then you got the above average, and then you have average and they put Josh Allen in, but they don't realize he's throwing up big numbers. I mean, rushing. I mean, look what he did to surpass Jim Kelly, with those stats. I mean, well, you said the stats earlier. I mean, those are incredible numbers, man. I mean, not everybody's going to have an MVP type game every single game. I mean, give me a break, And he's above average. I'm going to say it. He's above average. If he comes through in a shootout with Seattle and the next game after that, he's going to bring his numbers up. He'll be above average. Everything's about numbers, but they're not, what would you rather have, Will? A guy that could throw 300 yards a game and get an L, or somebody that do 200, 225 yards, and 40, 45 rushing with those type of numbers and get the win. You know what I'm saying? Josh is that type of player. If he don't give you the big numbers, he's going to get you to win anyway. Look what he did last year.
No, listen, I'd rather anybody get the win. Distribute the ball equally around if you have to. Like Diggs doesn't need to get all the balls. Spread them around.
He's the most. I believe he got 79 targets this whole season, the most among all wide receivers.
Yeah, it was crazy. We talked about, I think it was 2 weeks ago. He had 22 targets above Cole Beasley.
Wow.
So and that was 2 weeks ago. Maybe it's been more now or evened out. I didn't look at it this week, but you want to win. Hey, he didn't throw for 200 yards this week. I think he had like 150 something, a touchdown. He didn't lose the game, and that's all he had to do. You get in there, you do your job, and that's all that matters. My thing is, if we got visitor, my thing is we have what's it called? Hold on. What is this Dennis over here? If the Bills lose, Allen MVP talks are out the window for the rest of the season. Your wife made a cameo.
Yeah.
What was that? So anyway, you want the win. It doesn't matter what everybody does. You want the win.
She brought me another one. That's what it was.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna open up my other one. I'm drinking this warm beer. Hey, what did you think about Tua before we go to some of our picks and stuff?
Oh man, they prepared him well for 2 weeks. I mean, he didn't have the biggest numbers, but we gonna I don't know. It's still early on. Everybody's, what are they, 1.5 games behind? Everybody, I get a lot of messages like, "Hey man, you got to watch out. New England's not in the hunt no more. The Jets aren't in the hunt no more. Watch out for Tua. Watch out for But I mean, I wasn't really impressed. I don't know what you think, but
I wasn't impressed.
The next 2-3 weeks that we'll tell how he's preparing. I mean, he just had one start.
Yeah, and he didn't even have 100 yards passing. He had 93 yards passing. His defense scored a touchdown. Special teams scored a touchdown. And there was a Russian touchdown.
There was a pick six, a 78-yard pick six, or a fumble recovery, whatever.
A fumble recovery.
Yeah.
And so he had one touchdown pass.
Yeah.
All right, not bad. Hey, like we were talking.
The D did the work.
Yeah, he did. He was 12 for 22. Nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing special at all. He didn't lose the game for them. He played well enough for them to win. He didn't carry the team. He didn't do anything. If Fitzpatrick
and you got to remember, he had 2 weeks to prepare for them too.
Yeah,
so, I wasn't really that impressed. Even though he's a rookie, we'll find out the next 2 weeks what the real deal is. We got to play him twice. Hopefully it would be sweet. It would be sweet. Let me rephrase that. It would be sweet if we swept the Patriots. We already swept the Jets, and if we swept Miami. I don't think we've ever done that before, to sweep everybody in the AFC East. That would be tremendous because hopefully that would get us a home game in the playoffs, and depending on how the season ends, you know what I mean? But our schedule is tough. The next couple games, man. Next 3 or 4 games, we're going to be able to tell who the real Bills are, who the real Josh Allen is. And, I don't know if we talk about the trade deadline yet that we missed. We didn't really pick up anything. I was expecting maybe something with a D tackle or something like that, but we picked up a couple corners. I like Darron Lee. I kind of like him, but we're going to see. Like I said, I expected – a DT is something to get that run stop, but this is what it is. But on the other hand, I know you probably already touched on all this. John Feliciano was a big help with our run offense, man. I mean, that dude, what a difference maker he is, man. It's incredible, and I'm glad he's back. But we need to stop. We need to stop the run, man. I mean, Cam. Those last couple plays, the running plays that they did on us, man. And if it wasn't for Zimmer being alert and punching that ball away, man, I was cringing. I was sick to my stomach, man. I was like, here it goes. I probably said earlier in the show, I don't know if you heard me or not, but it felt like the old 2000 Bills, like, you gain a lead and then all of a sudden it's a close game. And you're like, okay, how the heck are we going to wind up losing this game? We're going to find a way to lose this game. But, people are saying, I got a lot of messages, the Bills are lucky. No, man. It was a great defensive play. They don't understand. It's a great defensive play. It ain't that we're lucky. It's that he made a great play when he needed to make a great play.
Yeah, that's what they practice. They practice that in practice. They say it all the time, punching out the ball. A lot of teams do it. That's what you're supposed to do, especially if it's a two-man tackle. If one guy's tackling him, the other guy tries to rip the ball out.
Yeah, but he went straight for the strip. He didn't go for the tackle. It was all or nothing on that. He knew there was, he timed it perfect, man. I watched that play over and over, and the way he just timed that punch out, man, was just it was beautiful. And he did the similar thing I said earlier in the show against Kansas City, that it would give us an opportunity to get the ball back and actually catch up to Kansas City. So, but unfortunately, I forgot who it was ran in I think it was anyway, and he hit his knee, so it didn't count that fumble.
Yeah.
But
real quick,
yeah.
Kyle saying Milano might be put on the IR. I didn't see that, Kyle. Hopefully it doesn't, because like I said before, they're using him more of on like a pitch count, like they say in MLB. So he might go play 20 plays out of the whole game. Hopefully he doesn't go on the IR. Hopefully he doesn't tear that pec. Another thing was Bills have had more injuries this season. Last couple of seasons, Bills were relatively healthy.
Yeah, that's true.
Last year, man, we were on point. It was big. It's always big when you can keep your core team. A lot of the guys are coming back. Like I said, our corners are going to be busy this week, man. Good thing we have Levi back. So they're going to try to pick on Levi. They're probably going to take White and put him on Metcalf. But they have a lot of weapons. They're banged up like we are. So a few guys might not be playing. But hopefully, the Bills could, or their D, man. We need to get to Russell. And if he gets out of the pocket, like I said, Russell doesn't like running, but he can run. The guy's a beast. He's all the way all around. I think this just comes down to whose defense steps up. Their defense is not that great. Their defense is kind of like ours, suspect at times. So I think it just comes down to who is going to lay that hit more, who's going to control the run game. And that's one thing. I think we need to control the tempo, control the run game, get Singletary and Moss running, and control that clock.
I agree with this team. I agree with you. If we could get Moss and Singletary to get our first downs and keep Russell off the field, that's to our advantage. Because if not, like Kyle said, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be back and forth, because their defense is horrible too. I'm not going to even say they're mediocre. I think they're 30th in the league or 29th in the league in the past, or maybe dead last even in the past defense. So, I think if we get control of the ball, possession control and field control, it might not even be a shootout. We might just grind it out and just, grind it down, a score, and then hopefully our defense will hold them. It just depends. I mean, if we play the way we played the first half against New England, we have a shot. If we played weeks before how we played against the run defense, to where they scored 200, 250 yards against us, we're going to be in trouble, man. I mean, they just go. The first thing they're going to try to do is run all over us. But it is Russ Wilson, so.
Let me ask you a question. In the beginning of the year, did you pick them to win or lose this game? I picked them to lose this game.
I picked them to lose this game. Right. I got them to lose this game, San Fran, Kansas City, and win to New England.
No, okay. No, I had them losing to this game. Again, I said these are games they could win, but they have to be on point. If you don't play on point, you're not going to win this game. And did you know, I said this before, Pete Carroll started his coaching career with the Buffalo Bills.
I didn't even know that.
Me neither. I read it back in 1984. He started as a Bills defensive backs coach. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Also, Kyle, he said two things. He said Bills need to win against a contender.
Yeah. I agree with Kyle, man. I mean, all the buzz around the media outlets are like, we're a soft 6-2. We haven't beat nobody. We're just average. Kyle is right. If we could beat a contender like this and hand them their second loss, that would be great. Me personally, I would love for them to beat Pittsburgh and show them, because they're the only undefeated team. It looks like they might be undefeated this week coming up. So if we play them and hand them a loss, then all of a sudden they'll be like, was it a fluke? At least it'll turn head. So, but one game at a time. I agree with Kyle. We need to beat a contender.
Listen, so far they've done what they're supposed to do, and that's beat the teams they have to beat. And they beat the Rams. I'm not sure what the Rams record is. I'll look over it. But, they're not a bad team. The Rams are a very good team. They might not be playing all that great. Where are they? I can't even see them. Where the hell are they? Where's their record? Ram, whatever. I'll find it later. But the Rams aren't slouches. They beat them, which was good. Yeah, the Bills almost blew it, but they beat them. Another thing he said,
hey man, a win's a win, damn it.
Yeah, you have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And then if you beat those better teams, hey, it's a bonus. As long as they keep winning and doing what they're doing. Look, they're 6-2 right now.
Yeah.
Let's say they lose against Seattle. They have to come back and beat Arizona. Now, if they lose both of those games, now you're
5-3. They're 5-3.
Who are the Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. No, I'm saying the Bills right now are 6-2.
Okay.
If they lose against Seattle, they're going to be 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they don't go over there and beat Arizona, they're going to be 6-4. Now, Miami might win next week. They might be there, and then they'll be at 6-4.
Mm-hmm.
So, you need to win at least the Arizona game. If you drop Seattle, okay, you drop it. It's against a very good team. Make it competitive, and then you got to hand it to Arizona. Anyway, you got to keep on.
Whatever scenarios we got, it's definitely an important 5 or 6 week stretch, man. I mean, we could literally go 3-3. We could even go 4-2 on the last 6. I don't want to, I'm the first one to want to root my Bills, but realistically, if Josh Allen doesn't pick up his game, I mean, and the defense, especially the defense, man, if the defense don't pick up the game, we're going to be in a whole world of hurt because Russell's going to, Trey needs to make that money. Milano, I know, I think Kyle says he's going to put on the honor. Is it still that pec problem he got?
It's a pec problem, but like I said, I don't know if that's going to happen. Hopefully it doesn't because he's been, he's not playing every down. He comes in and plays a few downs.
Yeah. It's hard to tackle with a pec problem. You got to wrap up. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I've seen people on, on Buffalo Bills website and a couple websites, commenting like, "Oh, suck it up. You just man, have you ever had a pec go out on you?" Man, listen, you're
telling them to suck it up. You're trying to tackle a 200 and something pound.
Yeah, coming at you full speed.
Straight muscle. Like, stop it.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah. Another thing he said too, was that the Bills miss Lorenzo Alexander. It's possible the guy is, listen, I think if Edmonds was 100%, Milano was 100%, our defense would be on point. It's a little off. These guys are playing banged up. Alexander brought that leadership there. And he was good against the run. He's a good run stopper too. So that would have helped. So he may be right there.
There's a shout out with Ed Kilmartin that he has with that guy Jeremy, and Lorenzo's on there. And somebody asked him to come on. When are you going to come on? He's got offers to come back out, but right now he's coaching his kids. He's trying to spend family time. But he did reiterate that he is in NFL shape form. He's ready to go. So that kind of like gives you a little glimpse. That would be awesome if he was just to come. And you never know if we go push for a good deep playoff run, maybe they'll bring him on. I don't know, but he says he's in physical shape. According to Fred Kilmartin and Jeremy and Clayton Garrett and them guys over there at Cold Front Report.
He was a beast. I mean, do they need him? I don't know. They keep going more young or youth, So maybe they saw something. I don't know. Maybe he's a little slow on the step. He can't really cover as well as he used to. But to stop the run, sure. But they're not really running a 4-3. If you're running a 4-3 or 3-4, I can see it would be the second linebacker. He wouldn't be the prime guy. But if they keep running like this 46 or it's just rough, you got to have speed out there to cover.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't realize Milano's a great cover linebacker, man. I mean, he's with he's been matched up with guys in the slot. Guys with tight ends. He matches up real good, which another point that I want to bring up, we're bringing whatchamacallit back from the COVID tight end Knox, and he's going to be. I think this game. What's the status on Brown? Because I know he didn't practice.
He practiced today full. He didn't practice on Wednesday, but he practiced full today.
Those two additions on offense are huge. Let me tell you why. Seattle has had a problem covering tight ends. So if our tight ends get loose, and you never know with him though, man, because he could catch a good ball and then he'll be wide open and and drop it, just like with Gabriel Davis last week. I mean, the kid got great hands, but he had a chance to win the doggone game in the end zone. It looked like a gimme catch. I don't know if you remember that play in the end zone with Gabriel Davis, and he could have caught that ball, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? In the back of the end zone, he could have caught that ball. I think our tight end play is going to be very important. John Brown is going to be very important, and our run game is going to be. Those are the three factors. If we get John Brown back, our tight end back, and Josh is on point, our defense stops the run,
Mhm.
We might be pleasantly surprised, but all those things have to click. All those things have to click.
Like I said, I think it could happen. I do like Knox coming back. One thing I had read, I think it was on Bleacher Report or one of these places, was that before the trade deadline, that the Bills should look at a tight end, and that
I like our tight end core, man. I like
well,
our
me too. And they were already writing off Knox, like, well, maybe he's not the answer. I'm like, are you serious? This is his second year. He's been on the COVID list. He had an injury in the beginning of the year. Like, how are you going to write? But this is what I was talking about. I brought up Dwayne Haskins in Washington. Like, people are just ready to write these guys off so fast.
Well, the problem with Knox, he has the most drops on the team, so people look at that like, oh, he's dropping too many balls. Well, I could see that, but give the kid a break. It's just second year. I mean, come on, he's playing with the big dogs, man.
Where was he drafted? What round? He wasn't a first round pick, and he wasn't a second round pick.
I think he was a fourth or fifth.
Yeah, you could go after him, please. These kids still have to learn. They have to get better, and he's gotten better. But again, he's been injured. He's been off the team. Let's move on, man. It's already past an hour.
I'm sorry, man.
I know you're like 15 minutes in.
I'm just a part timer today.
Sweating. All right, let's go. Let's start looking at some picks for this week. The game's probably already started. Don't even know the score. Let's go real quick. The bye week. The Bengals are on bye. Browns, the Rams, and the Eagles all on byes this week. That bum Dennis, he's a freaking Philly fan. Bum. Okay. Work with Dennis. Dennis is a good guy. All right. So now we're going to pick tonight's game. Green Bay is actually giving up 7. They're missing most of their backfield due to COVID. San Fran's missing most of their receivers due to COVID. So it's kind of crazy. It stinks, but man, I don't know who to take. I like Green Bay. I'll go with Green Bay minus their running backs giving up 7. I'll take them. It's a stinky game.
I'm with you, man. I mean, I don't even know who's starting at quarterback. I think they named Nick Mullins the starter.
Yeah. Mullins again.
Even though they got Nick Mullins, and without Kittle, I think Arians is gonna throw it all over the place. So I got Green Bay. I got them I'm on 27 to 21. I got by 6. So
by 6.
You might take the over on that.
Oh, by the way, I got beat up last week. I went 4 for 10. I mean, 4 wins, 10 losses. It was nasty. Just nasty. Probably like the worst.
7-7, so it wasn't that bad. It wasn't too bad, but it is what it is.
All right, we got Baltimore heading down to Indy. Both teams are 5-2. Baltimore is giving up 2.5. People are starting to get to Lamar Jackson. People are like, okay, now they're starting to figure him out. So they're even looking at Lamar a little funny, which is kind of crazy too. I like Baltimore giving up 2.5. Indy's defense is good, but I just don't trust that offense. They're suspect.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think Lamar's going to have a big game. With the Colts, I think won 2 games in a row. So they're coming off a good run there. But I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a field day on him. I got him 28-24, Ravens.
Cool. All right, now both teams here are 1-6, surprising to say, especially for the Houston Texans. Houston's heading down to Jacksonville, giving up 6.5. One thing I brought up before, I don't know if you saw it, was J.J. Watt says he does not want to be part of the process. He has one more year at 17.5, non-guaranteed money. Maybe the Bills should look to try to pick up J.J.
That's a lot of money, though. I mean, what are we on that? We got $4 million on the cap right now. So
is that all they have left?
I think all we got was $4 million. So they need to just get the guys their money. We gotta get their contracts taken care of, and that's why everybody was pissed off that we didn't do anything by the trade deadline or whatever. But I mean, Dean knows what he's doing. If he would have made a move, he would have made a move already.
The one thing I said, which was good, is that hey, they picked up the corner Worley for free. They didn't have to give up anything, and maybe the asking price for a defensive tackle was high. And me personally, if you want to try, hey man, go after DeAndre Poe and see if you could pick him up for 1 year just to see what he has left in the tank. But besides that, Houston heading down to Jacksonville, giving up 6.5 points. I think Houston might be a better squad at this point.
Yeah,
So I'm
man.
going to take Houston giving 6.5.
I'm with you. That's good that you're giving it because I think what happened with Minshew? Why he gone? I think
He
what's
has,
Jake
he
Luton's
has
gonna be hard.
multiple fractures in his thumb
Yeah,
and a pulled ligament or something was wrong with his ligament also. So he's done.
yeah.
He's out.
Yeah, they got that new kid, Jake Luton. Now they said he looked good in camp. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. But I still think Deshaun and them are good. Are due for they start rolling. You know how they are.
Yeah.
Especially toward mid-season, end of the season, they start running. I think they're going to pick it up, gearing into the second half of the season. So I got them. I don't know if you're going to give them 7. Is that what you're giving them? You giving up?
6.5, yeah, 7.
Yeah. I'm with you, bro. It might be an ugly game.
Dude, they would have to go on a straight winning streak to make the playoffs. They can't lose one more game, so it's going to be tough.
I think they're going to start rolling, believe it or not. I predicted some crazy stuff, past couple weeks, but I think
mid-season. The problem with them though is they're going to have to play Kansas City again, don't they?
Yeah.
And they'll have to play. They're in a tough division, so I don't see it happening. Chicago, this is a good game. Chicago 5-3 is heading down to Tennessee, who's 5-2. Tennessee's actually giving up 6 points to the Chicago Bears. Chicago to me is iffy. They actually don't have Wims because he got into a fight with CJ. So, he's out for 2 games. That might be a tough pill there. 6 points. I'm actually going to go with Tennessee. Tennessee is just, they're home. They're just nasty. They're a tough team, man.
Yeah, man. Both of these teams, Titans, when they play good, they play tough. You've seen what they did with the Bills, even though we know they practice. That's another story. That's another show again. We know they practice when they weren't supposed to. Probably gave Knox a COVID while doing it. But hey, I'm not even. I'll take it back. But anyway, they both on a 2-game losing streak. Chicago to me is not a strong 5-3 team. You know what I mean? Just like people are saying the Bills aren't a good 6-2 team. I feel the same way about the Bears. I think the Titans have a little bit of issues on defense. Chicago has a problem on offense, so it's gonna be an ugly game. But I still got the Titans actually by 3, so I got them 27-24 Titans.
Everybody was talking about how Chicago lost some of their defensive backs and stuff last year. Well, this year, and their main thing was the quarterback Trubinsky. And hey, man, Nick Foles is going in there. He's doing what he has to do. It hasn't always been pretty, but he's getting the job done. All right, moving on.
Is that a beer burp? Was that a beer?
Sorry, excuse me.
It's all good.
Let's get through this. Carolina Panthers. I should have muted myself. 3-5, heading over down to KC. KC's giving up 11 points. Kind of steep. There is a possibility McCaffrey might be back this week. It's not definite, but it's a possibility. Still, I don't man, Kansas City's just rolling. Are they going to cover 11 points, though?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. Whatever. I'm going to take KC just because they're so hot. But to me, this is what you would call a bookie's delight. Everybody's going to take Kansas City, and they'll end up winning by 10, and you'll lose by a point. Well, I'm going to take KC and lose by a point.
Yeah. I don't know if I would take the 10, man. Panthers defense, suspect, as usual. But even if they get Christian McCaffrey back, like they said that he might come back, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think it might be close to a 10-point loss. So I got them 30-20, Kansas City.
Nice. All right, Kyle, shout out. Maybe the Bills will go forward wide receivers Sunday. They have been doing that too. As long as they can control that rush, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Like, half the times they're going to throw it to Diggs. He needs to spread the ball. Even Smoke isn't getting the ball as much,
Smoke been hurt. Let's see what happens. He's back. If we get all plus the tight end, we with all our offensive weapons out there, I think he'll be able to spread it out a little bit more. There's no reason not to.
The few times he threw it to Smoke was more of a force. All right, moving on. New York Giants, who got cheated out on Monday night. I think they should have got that pass interference call, but they didn't. 1-7 are headed to Washington, who are 2-5. Washington's giving up 2.5. Man, I don't even know. These two teams are just bad. They're bad. Just bad. I think maybe Washington. I'm going to pick Washington because of Rivera, because of the coach. That's it. Washington wins.
That whole NFC division is all jacked up, man. You don't know what you're gonna get. I don't know. The Washington football team. I keep wanting to say the Redskins. Sometimes they surprise you. It's the weirdest thing. You like they suck, and then all of a sudden they put some big points, and you're like, oh man. Even though Giants played pretty well, they did get cheated. I think last game, the last game. This is gonna be a tough one. I think it's gonna be a close one too. I got it 21-17 going in favor of the Giants because they're gonna keep rolling that momentum. Even though it was a heartbreaker for them, I think they're gonna keep rolling. I think they're gonna do something with the Washington team. What did I say? 21-17?
I don't know.
21-17 Giants. How about that? Just final call, final decision. 21-17 Giants.
By the way, the Packers are up 7-0 already.
Already.
All right, moving on. Where am I? We have Detroit heading into Minnesota. As of right now, this game is even. Both teams stink. Detroit's 3-4. Minnesota's 2-5. I mean, Delvin Cook went off against the Packers, scored 4 rushing touchdowns. Insane. Can he do that against Detroit? I don't know. Oh, by the way, we don't know if Matthew Stafford's going to play because he's on the COVID list, but if he doesn't have a positive test, he will play on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So just because of maybes, I'm going to take Minnesota on their high of a win last week because I don't know if Matthew Stafford is playing or not.
Yeah, that's a big if for me. If Matthew Stafford plays, I think it changes the dynamic of the game. But the way the Vikings beat Green Bay, they just ran it down their throat, man. So if they get Dalvin Cook going, it'll be an ugly game. So I got Minnesota 21-14.
All right. Here we go. Denver is heading into Atlanta. Denver's 3-4. Atlanta's 2-6. Denver seems to beat teams they're not supposed to and lose to teams they shouldn't. On that note, Atlanta's giving up 4, so I'm going to take Denver. Denver. They're all banged up too, Denver. It's like, who knows? So
I don't know. The Falcons won last 2 out of 3. I think Matt Ryan's going to have a big game. I'm going to take the Falcons. I got them 28-24 Falcons over Denver.
All right. So you would have them as a push.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Another game that's even. Las Vegas is heading to LA. Las Vegas is 4-3. The Chargers are a sad 2-5. I think the Rams can start getting their crap together and pull off a win here. Herbert's looking good for the Chargers, but I don't know if they're going to be good enough. I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with you. I think, even though Herbert he does really good, but they've just been finding. I don't know if you watch them lately. They just find ways to lose the game. Like if they could just find a way to keep that foot pedal down, they'd win a lot of more games. I think this is where they're going to turn around by beating the Raiders. I got the Chargers 28-24 against the Raiders. I got Chargers winning.
All right.
That scares me, man.
Does it?
Yeah.
My thing is, hopefully on November 29th, you're right, and the Chargers find a way to lose.
Nah, I'm hoping so. That's what I'm saying. That kid's got. Remember I said it. That kid kind of scares me, man.
Their defense is what's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, the only team that's undefeated, is heading to the Lone Star State of Dallas. Dallas is 2-6. Pittsburgh 7-0. Pittsburgh is giving up 14 points. Man, which Dallas team is going to come?
It don't matter.
The one who has some pride. The one who has some pride or not. Listen, I'm going to go with Dallas. 14 points is a lot of points. Pittsburgh probably will put them up there, but this is one of those old rivalries from back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know who the hell's Dallas's quarterback again. Maybe I have to change.
It'll be Cooper Rush, because I think Andy Dalton's on the COVID list too, man. So
COVID, yeah, concussion. He was out.
Is that what it was? Okay, yeah. I thought he was on the COVID list. Either way, man, it's gonna be an ugly game. Pittsburgh big, man. Pittsburgh big. I didn't even. We could just skip and go ahead. I would actually take the 14 if I were you, man. I think it's gonna be really ugly. I'll be surprised if Dallas scores 6 points, man.
This is
that Pittsburgh defense.
the next game is a game I'm going to be rooting for. The NFC. The Miami Dolphins head down into Arizona. Miami's 4-3. Their defense are playing lights out. That defense is actually one of the best in the leagues right at the moment. Arizona is giving up 4.5. I don't know. I'm picking Arizona just because Tua's starting. If it was Fitzpatrick, I'd probably take Miami. But I want to see what Tua could do. Arizona has a pretty good defense. I think we'll see what he could do this game.
Dolphins have a good defense, man. Yeah, I think the top scoring defense in the league. So I don't know if Tua could score a couple points, but he didn't impress me in the first game. He'd been out, what do you have, less than 100 yards passing? But his defense might help him. It depends on Kyler Murray. I don't know. It's a tough one to call, but being that we're in the AFC East, I would love for the Miamis to lose so we could get another game ahead of them. So I'm going to pick Arizona, and I'm actually going to take the 5, man. 4.5. What is it, 4.5?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Arizona's going to light them up.
New Orleans heading into Tampa. New Orleans is 5-2. Tampa Bay 6-2. Tampa's minus 4.5. I think, this is for the division, man. This is to take the lead over there in the division. I think I said New Orleans would win that division. I said Tampa. Actually, to me, I didn't think Tampa would be playing this well, even though everybody else said they would. I wanted to hate on Brady, and I'm going to hate on Brady, and I'm going to take New Orleans minus the 4.5. I mean, getting 4.5.
Is they be playing on this one, Antonio Brown?
Yes, it actually is.
Man, I don't know, man. I'm actually gonna watch this game, and I'm gonna be glued to this game. New Orleans, the Saints. They beat them the first game, but it was just Tampa Bay's playing a lot better, and if they got AB, it's probably going to be a lot bigger of a win for Tampa Bay. So I think what is it, 4.5, 5.5 for Tampa Bay?
4.5 per ESPN.
Yeah, man, you need to go probably over, man. I don't know. I think Tampa Bay's going to light them up.
Hey, listen.
The only thing about Tampa Bay, they start off so slow. You're thinking, oh, my God, they're going to get their butt whipped. And next thing you know, you turn off the TV, then you go to Red Zone or whatever, NFL Red Zone, and all of a sudden you see, how the heck did they come back? In like 2 minutes that I changed the game. Yeah. So, Tom Brady could light it up, man. We can hate on him all we want.
Oh, yeah.
He is making a difference. Look at New England right now, what's going on out there without him.
All New Orleans needs to do is take C.J. Gardner, put him on either Evans or Brown. They'll yap in their ears, and they'll want to fight, and they'll get kicked out. All right. The most exciting football on Monday night in a long time. The 2-5 New England Patriots head into see the 0-8 East Rutherford, New Jersey Jets. Sorry, New York Jets. New England's giving up 7. I think they go in there all mad and angry, and they actually beat the Jets and hand them 0-9.
You think so?
Yeah.
I just see that dejection on Cam Newton's face after that fumble. I think that one really stung. 2 things to come out of that. Either he comes out swinging and wants to light it up, or he'll be a little bit apprehensive. So it's kind of give or take, man. Jets are due for a doggone win. I know they can't. Come on, man. Are they really going to go 0-16 this year? Like, really? They, and I always say that. They played us tough. They played us tough. Everybody said, your boy from the, what's his name, that came on the show, he came and said it was going to be a blowout 40-3. He said, man, we're going to be lucky if we score 3 points. This and that. And it's division. I don't know, man. I think they're gonna play tough. I'm. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say the Jets.
What?
17 against the Patriots and hand them that. And hey, what did they lose? 4 games in a row already.
The Pats have been on a losing streak. Yeah,
they lost 4 games. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the Jets are gonna take this one, man, and put their 5th game in a row. They're in shambles over there. Cam Newton just got, I saw it in his face. He was dejected. He almost was in tears, man. And I was happy for Oliver, Ed Oliver because there was a video circulating from last year at camp when they were both practicing, and Cam Newton was talking crap about Ed Oliver. I was hoping he would really get into him.
Really?
It's an old video, from last year, and Cam Newton was talking crap in front of him, and you could see like a still of Ed Oliver, like looking at him, like, yeah, man. So it was kind of like a little bit of bad blood. So I'm glad that we got the win. One because it's New England. Number two, for Ed Oliver. Number three, it was Duke. It was past Duke. We need to get Belichick. I'm hoping we sweep him, but I think I got the Jets 21-17 against New England. I had them their fifth straight.
Damn. Well, looking at the Jets schedule real quick, they have New England. They play Los Angeles. They'll probably lose that. They play Miami. They'll probably lose that. They play Vegas. They should lose that. Seattle. They should lose. Los Angeles Rams. They should lose. Cleveland, the way Cleveland's playing, they should lose. They play New England again. So if they're going to beat anybody,
it'll be this week.
It's New England.
It'll be this week.
Yeah. If, again.
They might beat New England, get a little confidence boost, and start playing a little bit halfway decent. I mean, they played us real tough. Years ago.
That was the week. That was the best time they played. Was the first week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to the last game. Seattle giving up 3 against the Buffalo Bills. And I don't know if you heard it. They've met 12 times during the regular season, once in the playoffs. They lead the series 8-5. They beat us the first time they played us, and they beat us the last time they played us.
They beat us the last time they played us?
Yeah, it was a 12-16. I had the score somewhere. I think Seattle will win this game. I hope not. The last time they played us was November 7th of 2016. They beat us 31-25. Anyway, I hope I'm wrong, but I think Seattle wins this game, even by 3 points.
You're wrong, Will, and I hope you're wrong too, but I know you're wrong. The Bills in the shootout, 31-28. I got the Bills. Our defense is finally going to step it up. We're going to have all our offensive weapons.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shootout. If our defense steps up, there it is. So you're wrong, Will. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're wrong this week, bro.
You better not be trying to just pick the Bills every week because you didn't pick them every week.
Hey, I had them losing in the beginning of the season, but I still have faith.
Oh, I have faith.
My Bills, man. So I'm gonna change my pick from the beginning of the season, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, what score did I say? 31-28?
Something like that, yeah.
31-28, the Bills. All right. And if our offense shows up, if our defense shows up, because we're gonna have all our offense, we're gonna have a tight end, we're gonna have John Brown. So if we can spread the ball, run the ball, and have good defense, I think we're gonna beat them, man.
I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong.
And it's at home.
And I'm still picking Seattle, but I hope I'm wrong. I'm a realist.
Hey,
like I said.
If Kenny and Kerr listen, now's a good time to do that one-chip challenge between me and you and see who wins.
Like I said, if we control the run game and control the clock, and our defense plays like they're supposed to, like last year's defense, we'll win the game.
Yeah.
But if they don't, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
So on that note, people, thanks for joining us as always. Vinny, sorry you only got half a show today.
Hey, thanks for holding it down, man. Thanks for holding it down, bro.
Look how much easier it was the last half hour of the show. We even actually went longer than we usually do.
Yeah.
It's so much easier when we're going back and forth and feeding on each
Absolutely,
other.
Man.
And thanks for the guys.
And I like disagreeing with you when you say the Bills are going to lose. I'm going to go against you all the time.
Oh, nice. You're going to make me look like the bad guy. To Dennis, Kyle, Anthony, everybody who commented, thank you. Thanks for commenting. Hey, go to our YouTube page, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter, Viva Los Bills. Join our Facebook group page, Viva Los Bills. And we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we'll be celebrating another win. Hopefully we'll go to 7-2 instead of going to 6-3. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Hopefully, Vinny's right, even though he flip flopped.
I did. All these naysayers against Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is going to turn around and play like the first 4 games that he played and show that he is MVP caliber. I'm hoping and praying that's the case. So, hey, Will, great job. Thanks for holding down. Go Bills.
Thank you. Good night. Great job. See you all. Peace. Viva those Bills. Join us. Subscribe. Peace out.